you break into a sweat with even the thought of having company? I'm here to help. After trying just a few of my hosting tips, you'll be more than ready to say, come on over. I had barely moved to the Mid-South when I got a call that was an invitation to a party, and the caller said, and if you'd like, you could bring a blessing and a happy, and that would be lovely. And I said, okay. And I hung up with the phone and I was, what is a happy or a blessing? So I called my college roommate and said, what is this? And she said, oh, that's like a hostess gift. I'm like, okay. So then I thought, new vocabulary. And since then, I've delighted in not only receiving host and hostess gifts, but taking them. So we're going to talk today about different things you could take to a host or hostess. And this would not be like necessarily just going for coffee or tea. This would be more of a party atmosphere or a formal dinner or even just a holiday dinner or some sort of special dinner. It's always great to show up with some sort of fun thing. So let's talk about what some options are. You can never go wrong with flowers. You could just take a bouquet of flowers. You can take an orchid. I have received orchids and I've taken orchids and people have been delighted. They have never had an orchid. And you can get them now at the grocery store, so you don't have to go somewhere fancy to get them. So an orchid, big hit, cut flowers, all of one color, a mixed bouquet. No one really turns down flowers ever.
Huh? I don't need a cheap flirt like you.
And you can just take it as is, hand it over and say, thank you for inviting me. Another great gift is always a bottle of wine. And you cannot go wrong with a Chardonnay. Almost any party needs a bottle of Chardonnay. If you can, take it chilled. And if you also have it on hand, put it in a little wine bag. I just have a bunch of these on hand. You put it right down in there, and it has a little handle, and you walk in with this fun bag of wine. It doesn't have to be any particular color or any particular wine. If it goes with what they're serving, they'll just go ahead and open it right then and serve it. If it doesn't, it's okay for them to just hang on to it and use another time. Don't be offended if they don't use your wine.
Want a drink?
Another time, Anthony.
Another time.
Another great idea for a host or hostess gift would be a fun food item. I just happen to have Trader Joe's peppermint hot chocolate on hand. This, in my opinion, is one of the best hot chocolates you can get, a mix. And who wouldn't want this kind of fun thing? I also have a bunch of bags on hand. You can slip it down in there with a little tissue paper. Voila, instant gift. You don't have to put it in a bag, but if it's an item like this that's kind of on its own and you walk in and you go, here you go, it looks a little weird. Here's another idea, this little bag. I just happen to have a lot of pink, but anything that you have is going to be fine. It can even be brown. Just throw it in there. Great idea. Another idea would be a candle. This is one of a trio of candles that I had on hand, and I hadn't used this one yet, so it says unwind. I could definitely unwind to that. So you could take this, you could put it in one of these bags with a little tissue paper in, goes right there, ta-da, ready to go. If it's a guy and you happen to have a blue bag on hand, you can be a little more simple. Put it down in there, little handles. Isn't that fun? Who wouldn't like to have you walk the door and go, here you go, unwind. Great idea always, a candle. Another great idea, and my friend Fran is great at this, napkins. Whenever you are somewhere, say Home Goods, TJ Maxx, anywhere where they have gift items, just pick up a little extra packet of napkins. It's great to have on hand for your own guests, but it's a great hostess gift. This is pretty simple. It's just gold and white. So it doesn't have any seasonal, it's not seasonal flowers, or it's not Christmas or Thanksgiving or Easter. It's just a beautiful napkin. You can take these, put them right in the bag, little handle. Here you go, hostess gift. Lovely. If you want to kick it up a notch, you can take a beautiful dish towel. And this one's kind of cool. This is from the Loveless Cafe, and it has a little tab at the top, which you can hook on a kitchen handle, but it also has a conversion chart down here. So you have how many tablespoons in a cup, how many teaspoons in a tablespoon, how many cups in a pint. I mean, just great information to have, but it's also a really beautiful towel. I have this on hand. I wouldn't necessarily want to give it away because I love it, but if I were in a pinch, I could and go get myself another one. I've never used it, so it's that new, but it is great. And if you're any good at folding, you can fold this up nicely, not like I just did, but nicely. And let's see if it fits. It does, and it kind of makes a nice little bump at the top just for you in the bag. Cannot go wrong with that. So the next time you get an invitation, even if it's last minute, even if you have no warning to a party or a dinner or somewhere where you feel like it's punched up just a little bit, look through your house, see what you can find that's unused, that's beautiful. Get yourself a bag, get some tissue, throw it in there. And then when you show up to that event, not only will you make your host or hostess feel special, but you'll feel like you really contributed to making the whole evening feel special. And isn't that what we always want to do? The answer is yes. I will see you next time. My smile always goes, it always fades at the end. I'm like, did I ever tell you about the time that I threw a party and the jackal was there, and I went upstairs to get ready and he was downstairs, and when I came downstairs I didn't know it, but he had replaced every photo in the house with Hugh Jackman. But I was so like racing around, I didn't notice until the next day when he'd left town. And I thought, what does this look like this last night? So I contacted a guest. Oh, and Miss America was at the game night party. I contacted a guest and I said, did you happen to notice that there were Hugh Jackman pictures all over the house? He goes, yeah, I thought that was kind of weird. I'm like, say something! So get out there and do that today. We'll see you next time. Get out there and do that today, really?
Come on over. Now go make someone feel special today.